Okay, so a little bit of a change of plan. For those of you who don't know, we're in the middle of building a bumper, but we decided to change the plans a little bit. And so it's a little bit different now. These wings have been, we cut out the old ones and threw them in the, actually we didn't throw them in the garbage. One of the things we didn't just throw in the garbage. So, oh boy. This is the plate that used to be on there. And we didn't like the angles and just, didn't seem big enough, so we threw that plate out and replaced this one with that one. We also added this bracket here. Well, not bracket, but a little spacer, because we were looking at it and we realized that it's a little bit too aggressive. So we just cut right down the seam and then cut out this piece. It's only a 1-inch plate, but it's big enough that it gives it just a little bit more body to the bumper, if you will. Like before it was really, really low profile and really, really aggressive. And we were just looking at it and we're like, it doesn't seem right. So we made that plate bigger, cut a notch in it, and then added this, and then kicked this on less of an angle. So it just looks a little bit more girthy.
No less angles.
Alrighty, so the bumper's inside getting all tacked up, but I'm just doing some prep. But as you can see, our weather situation has deteriorated slightly, considering it is January, but we're just dealing with it as it comes. It is what it is. All right, so the weather situation has improved slightly. We're making serious progress with the side plates. We have...
My cutting was improving until you started talking.
Oh, sorry to make you lose your focus there, but we got the heavy metal going, and
for fuck's sakes.
uh-oh. We've got heavy metal going, and I don't know, it's helping significantly, I think so, because ever since I paused the music, the cuts have had issues.
No, it's just you talking, that's all.
Oh, okay. Well,
at least that's what I'm going to blame it on.
Yeah, you can blame it on that.
That's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. We'll just shut up then and just watch you do your thing. Okay, so we're with the design. We have this corner, don't touch, very hot. We have 2 inches here and it tapers up to 3 inches. Trying to just add a couple more angles here and there so it doesn't just look like it's 5 90-degree plates to make a square.
I refuse to make a rectangle.
We refuse to make a rectangle. Yep, I agree. Rectangles are ugly. All right, well, it's Sunday morning and it's a beautiful winter day up here. I'm like, I went outside, going out to my truck, and I'm like, oh my God, it is a beauty day. Well, I guess there's a cloud over there, but it's clear skies, super sunny. So I'm like, all right, I'll make my way on down to Tim's. And when I was walking out to my truck, I'm like, it was a little chilly this morning. Oh well. And then I start my truck and then drive, and I'm like, what? So yeah, nice, beautiful day, but oh boy. Oh, I feel like that's gonna be a problem for future me in about an hour, maybe 3. Oh boy. Well, we'll just layer up, I suppose.
So noise is heat. You don't really want a whole lot of noise. Because noise just makes you burn out your drill bits like that. I'm not done yet.
Oh, I know. It's progress. The other thing is when you leaned into it, the whole bumper nearly fell off the stand. So
that's why I had my leg underneath it and I was pushing into that, but it's kind of awkward. So scooch it over.
Okay, so it is starting to look like a bumper, which is awesome. We haven't done that side yet. We've only done this side here, but so far, the wings are looking pretty sweet, but then we're gonna have another plate that's gonna come like that and then go to there and then taper, or it's gonna taper down and then flatten out like around here somewhere. But we also drilled a hole for the, oh geez, for that spindle. So that is gonna have all of my bearings for the swing out. That's gonna sit about here and then swing. But we're not gonna worry about bearings or any of that right now because we don't wanna do anything like that until it's painted. And if we were to take the cap and plop her down on there, I mean, that's not exactly where it's gonna sit, but you get the idea. With all the welding that's gonna be here and here and here, and especially on the inside, it's gonna cook those bearings before we can actually get it mounted to the truck. So we're not gonna worry about bearings or anything like that until all the paint and all the welding is done, just to mitigate the risk of blowing up a bearing before we even use it. Currently, we are trying to figure out a piece, or figure out how we're gonna put a plate to fill this void, which is a perfect triangle, and then we're gonna have a perfect triangle to here, and then another like kind of trapezoidy thing come up to here, and then tie it all in underneath here. Yeah, so Keelan's just outside torching off the pieces because he's already measured it, and he's like, I got an idea, so we're gonna roll with it. But that's where we are, that's where we're at now, and it's coming together nicely. It's gonna look pretty sweet when she's all done. So it's a little bit of a mess right now, but one thing that we have been doing is, as we've been measuring and cutting the plates for the wing on that side, we've been cutting the driver, well, this will be the driver's side, that is the passenger side. We've been cutting the driver's side plates, like this is the top plate, this is the top, or this is the bottom side, and then that's the top plate on the side, like this one goes on top of that one on the side. We've been cutting them both at the same time because if it matches that side, or sorry, yeah, if these plates match those plates, then all you really got to do is weld them up and maybe adjust them slightly, because it should be an exact mirror copy from that side to that side. So just to save us time down the road, rather than having to go back and do recuts, we can just cut them both at the same time, and then it's just tack, 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 weld, 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 tack, 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 weld, 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 and then drill for the spindle on that side, and then do the swing outs, which we have 2-inch tubing. It's outside now that I think about it, but we have 2-inch square tubing that will come out to here, and they're gonna come pretty much there all the way to the middle. Yeah, to the middle. Maybe, no, because that one's gonna be over here a little bit. So it's actually gonna be like a 60-40 split. So 60% of this side is gonna be the tire, and then the 40% here is gonna be 2 jerry cans. Maybe make it so I can take the jerry can holder off and bring an off-road jack on there. Not like a high lift, but more like a Pro Eagle jack. Maybe make it so it's like modular, so you can take that on or take this off or whatever you want to do with it. I don't know yet. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But yeah. Another thing that we're gonna do to this one, because the Fab 4 bumper has little, in the wings here, that's got a little cutout here for your for a pod or whatever. So I've got 2 of those pods on that bumper that's currently on the truck. So once everything's all fully, not plated in, I guess, yeah, fully plated. Like once it's fully done, we're gonna take the torch and just cut here out so I can put my pod into this plate here. Or maybe that, I don't know. We're gonna find a way that I can put those pods that are on the truck, because I don't really want to have to rewire new lights. I'd rather just take those lights off and then put them into here, because the wiring harness is secured on the cab, like, or sorry, on the frame, not the cab. The wiring harness is secured on the frame, so if I have to pull that harness out to then put a new harness in for new lights, it'd just be easier if we can reuse the old ones. So this corner and the equivalent side on that will be 2x2 pods that I can use as reverse lights, because with the spindle, or sorry, not spindle, but the casing for the spindle, it's gonna block the reverse lights, and it's gonna be dark trying to back up at night, trying to see out of the back. So that would just make my life so much easier. And it's not a right this moment thing. That's more of like when it's fully done. But yeah, I haven't done it this way. I've usually always just had the kits come, and they come with the pieces already cut out for you, and all you got to do is weld them together. But I've never done the measure it as you go method, but I'm not entirely opposed to it. Right there.
Okay, that's how I gotta cut that.
Oh, you're gonna have fun with that.
Zippy. Basically, it's just...
Oh, you're doing it. You're gonna taper it a little bit, eh? Maybe not?